Hello lovely people, it's Candy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a response. Well, there's a lot of video responses out there that I'm trying to make time to get to. But today I want to respond to what the lovely Amy over at Strength Reversed is doing. She is doing the Tarot Community Advent Calendar, where she pulls a card every day for the tarot community and also a subject for everybody to join in with a fact for that subject in the comments, which is really lovely because it builds up a bank of information on different topics. So I think it's a lovely idea. Now, yesterday was the 1st of December and the topic that was pulled was angels. And having spent the weekend before opening the door to angel energy, that kind of blew me away. I thought, of course it's angels, of course it is. So that was yesterday's prompt. But today's prompt was to find out something about the Marseille system. I know virtually nothing about the Marseille. In fact, what do I know? I know that it's very number based. I know that it's pip based. There we go, we've got to the very end of my knowledge as of yet, apart from those few little facts. But what I did think I would do today to join in with the Advent calendar would be to unbox one of the Marseille decks that I did by myself. This is the Spanish Tarot. It's by Fournier. All I've done so far is I've taken off the plastic on the outside of the box. That's all I've done. And then have a quick little look at this book, the Marseille Tarot Revealed. It's a Llewellyn book. And it's a full comprehensive, full colour guide about the symbolism in the Marseille. Because although I don't know anything as yet about the Marseille, it is something that I would like to rectify and study a little bit. But first of all, let's have a look at these cards. It's a little tuck box. So the box is nothing special. Let's put that over there. You've got this lovely sort of off-white creamy yellow colour. The backs are like this. You've got, oh, this looks like the booklet that comes with, what's the one with all the eyes? The Tarot del Fuego is a booklet like this. So your little white book. Because it wasn't really a system that completely grabbed me, but I wanted to study it just because I know it will impact all of my reading. The more knowledge I've got, I know it will impact. Plus, I like to study. But it isn't the system that jumped out and grabbed me the most. I went online and I just looked up them all and I looked at the types of decks that went off. And this one, although it was really cheap, it was the one that really appealed really to me. It's been sat unopened for ages because I've been studying the Thoth instead of this first. But I don't really want to have decks unopened on my shelf. I just think that's terrible, really. You've got the Fool. The Magician. He's a bit boggle-eyed, isn't he? The High Priestess. I love the lines, like where the shadow is, and the style of the art. It's really, although it's not modern, it could pass as really modern art. The Emperor, the High Priest, the Lovers, the Chariot, Justice, the Hermit. Well, that's an interesting Wheel of Fortune. Strength, the Hanged Man, and there's Death. I notice that that's just got the number 13 on and it's not got the word death on. I wonder if that is something that is standard in Marseille. We've got Temperance, the Devil. Oh, the Tower card is fantastic. It's quite Punch and Judy like. Love the Star card. The Moon. It's got a lovely kind of fairground Punch and Judy type feel to it. So I do love these majors. Judgment, and I love the colours on them. I think the colours are fantastic on this deck. And then there's the World card. That's a really interesting World card. It's really ancient but modern, if that makes any sense, artwork. And it's like really naive sort of folk art as well. I do love it. Okay, and then we've got a beautiful Ace of Discs and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. They are lovely, aren't they? 5, 6, 7, 8. I love the way the numbers go around the 3 sides. 9 and a beautiful 10. Then we've got the Page, the Knight, and the Queen, and the King. Gorgeous. So those are the Pentacles. Okay, now what on earth are these? Let's just skim ahead. Oh, these are cups. Okay, so I told you I knew nothing about the Marseille. That's the Ace of Cups, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. I love the way more foliage comes in and flowers change around. Some have flowers, some don't. I'm sure all of this has a meaning. The 8, the 9, and the 10 of Cups. No foliage at all on there. That's going to be something I'm going to be interested to find out about. Then we've got the Page, the Knight, again on horseback like the other Knight, and the Queen, and the King, so all holding their cups. I love this deck. I think this deck is beautiful. I am surprised actually how much I do love it. Although I had looked at quite a few of the Marseille walkthroughs online and I knew that I did really like this version, I'm still surprised how much I like it. Okay, now we've got the Ace of Swords. I'm assuming these are swords. The 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5. They are lovely. I am quite shocked actually how much I like them. The 6. Oh, please don't let me be a Marseille girl, as well as a Thoth girl, as well as a Rider-Waite-Smith girl, as well as a Your Own System girl. I honestly feel like I want all the decks. This isn't helping. There's the 8 and the 9 and the 10. Then we've got the Page, the Knight again on horseback, the Queen, and the King. Okay, and now we have Wands. Again, a spectacular ace. So I've got the Ace of Wands, the 2, the 3, the 4, 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, the 9, the 10, the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. So that's it. That is the Spanish tarot. The cardstock, it's quite thin. I quite like that because it's nice and easy to shuffle. If I compare it to a Rider-Waite Smith, you can see it's slightly smaller. We have a little look in this book now. Quite a lot to find out in this book. It's quite a nice little book. So you've got classic decks, new decks, French and English school. So there are 2 schools. Tarot in the New Age, handling, shuffling, how to read, the meaning of each card, basic spreads, reverse or inverse cards, and the tarot's symbolic language. I think this book is really going to help answer a lot of the questions. The symbolic language includes the directions, the colours, the numbers, the figures, and the body parts. Closeness and exposure. You've got all the majors. So you can see there's a lot in here for a complete beginner like myself. 2 questions that I wanted to know is, why does the death card not have a title on like the other majors? So for the death card, see, it's just got the number 13 on it. Now it looks like that one doesn't have it on, and I saw somewhere in here that it said that in older decks they didn't name it death. It was only in the newer decks that they added the title death to it. Yeah, so I've turned to this page because it's card 13. Here it says, look, in new decks card 13 is called death, but in traditional decks it has no name. So that answered that one. So it would depend on the age of the deck. The other question that I was interested in was this idea of, you know, the plants on here. How do you read the plants? I mean, of course they're going to be symbolic. Saw in the front of this book that part of the symbolic language was directions, and that comes first. It did make me think about the directions the plants are growing in. If we go to the back, the minors are at the back, and it gives you an example of how to read some of these minor cards. And if we look at this one, because this one has got these red flowers on here, which in the deck I've just looked at, it is slightly different, but the directions are the same. It says the pair of cups at the bottom can signify 2 lovers. The central red shape in the middle, which is here, which on here would be this one, indicates mutual passion. And the heart shape of the leaves around the red shape's tip expresses emotional bonding. They turn in opposite directions, indicating the start of separation. So we've got a body of 2, and then the way they move away indicates separation. Okay, if we look at the 7 of coins, you can see the directions are the same again for the foliage. And here it says the plant decorations enclose it in a way that expresses protection and support. So I think the direction with the foliage is obviously really, really important. You can see that enclosing there. It's slightly different on here, but we've still got the same directions. So the colours have changed and the shapes of the flowers have changed, but the direction has stayed the same. And that was the same when I looked at this one. The colours and the shape of the flowers had changed, but the direction that the foliage was growing in hadn't. So on first glance, trying to quickly answer My first question, obviously the directions of the foliage used to read the card. So that's all really fascinating. This book, you can see it goes into lots of detail for each card. Which was the card that had no foliage on? It was a 10, wasn't it? Not the coins, cups. The 10 of cups. There it is. Now, where is it in my deck? Look at the mess of my deck. There it is, the 10. So again, we've got no foliage on this, but the directions of the cups are very telling. We've got a grid and then one along the top. Leadership. Immediately I'm seeing a link with the direction and the way it's laid out. The number 10 completes the social construction of the cups by putting one on top of the other 9, expressing the collective as a unity of a higher order. What does it say about plants? There are no plant decorations and the focus is only on the cups and their relations. A leading figure, a position of responsibility and guidance for others. Wow. So, and then in verse would be a leader toppled, loss of popularity, ingratitude from the people you've helped. Oh, that's so fascinating. Right, so directions and layout in these pip cards. You can see I am incredibly new to this. I just wanted to join in, even though I am new to this, with some of my initial questions, my initial impressions, what I spot as a complete newbie opening a Marseille Tarot for the first time, and just trying to answer for myself just a couple of quite quick questions, like why no plants, why that shape of foliage, what does it mean, is it just aesthetically drawn like that for no other reason than to decorate, or does it have meaning, which obviously it does. And then this idea of direction, that is new to me. And then we've got the death card with no name at the top. So that's it, guys. I'm going to leave all of Amy's links down below. Go and check out her tarot community advent calendar, because it's really lovely to watch what card she's pulling every day and a little thought around that. And then a little challenge question for us. I am heading back there now to give my couple of newbie facts. I hope you enjoyed that. For all you Marseille experts out there who didn't click off immediately, then thank you for bearing with my newbie take on this system. We all start somewhere, right? And this is where I started. If you're a beginner too, then jump on in. And then if you're an expert, go across to Amy's site and perhaps share some of your wisdom for people like me to soak up. Thank you, Amy. It's really fun to join in with your tarot advent calendar. Okay, guys, I will see you next time. Bye. Gosh, was that completely garbled? Oh, I am so surprised how much I like you.